Welcome back to Naruto Anime Review. This is special number 3. Now, I did say that this series is kind of, well, over in a way, but I'm going to use these specials to simply put what I thought that were changes between both the manga and the anime. And yes, I will eventually review the two. There's like two OVAs I haven't watched yet for Naruto. I will eventually get to them. Yes, I will. Just that I want to get. I really wanted to. Tell everyone exactly how far I've gotten through the manga. I have officially gotten right now 56 volumes in of the 72 volume manga. That is, and pretty much I have 16 volumes to go. That is basically collected in these books. That is exactly 166 chapters. Yes, I'm getting pretty close to wrapping up this manga. Alright. Now, for the most part, when it comes to the manga, Part 1, when it was adapted into the original Naruto animated show, with the exception of a few minor visual changes, like cutting out Anko looking out Naruto's face after she cut it with a katana, and Orochimaru cutting out the little scene of Orochimaru licking the face of the third Hokage. Oh yeah, and altering the mark on Neji's forehead. From the manga, it's a swastika. In the anime, it's an X. A couple edits out, but mostly it stuck pretty much to the original story. For the most part, from what I can tell. When it gets to Part 2, when it starts out, it sticks pretty close, like the Kazekage arc, which took up basically 4 books, was adapted to Season 1. No change there. I think there's a couple bit of expansion here and there, but not really much change.
I'm going to make sure you cut roof review if it shows up here, right?
Got it.
Bye-bye. You need to take pictures too, unless I take them later,
right? Okay. Anyways. Got it. Anyways, sorry for the interruption. The return of Sasuke, which came right after that. No change there. I would say the first change didn't happen until after it was the arc when Sasuke killed off Orochimaru. That's where the changes started to start. Like when he worked with that Susuke, I think his name is, the first guy recruited for his team of people. First 3 people he recruited. Now in the anime, when I watched, because I watched the anime before I read the manga. Now in the manga originally, when they went to go get Zabuza's sword, it was exactly where Sasuke said it was, and they got it, no problem. In the anime, they changed that to where, someone took it and basically made this very kind of awkward, it made this kind of interesting, like breaking into a castle to steal a sword type of scenario. And of course, Sasuke told Suzuki, I think his name is, I don't really remember his name. He's the guy from the Hidden Mist Village, and he's the younger brother of one of the original 7 one of the past 7 swordsmen of the Mist. That he went in there just to get Zabuza's sword, the Executioner's Blade. Yeah, that whole scene, which is just a big change. The next big change was basically the scene when Naruto was informed of Orochimaru's death. Now they added something there a little bit for comedy purposes. Like you have Jiraiya. Now in the manga, they just went straight to basically, like, as soon as Naruto got there, he just got told that they kept a little bit of suspense. But yeah, that's when he was told that Orochimaru was killed by Sasuke. In the anime, they had a little bit of funny mode, basically, of Jiraiya does like Jiraiya and Naruto's like, hey, what's up? Let's go. Let's catch up. And then of course Sakura hits them both in their head. I mean, I get maybe her hitting Naruto, but why in the world would she hit Jiraiya? It just makes no sense. But yeah, that was just a fun little comedy bit that they changed from the manga to the anime. But from that point forward, it sticks pretty close to the original manga. Those of you kind of wondering why did Naruto during that filler arc kept his coat on, is this little, I don't know, thing, like after the whole thing with Sasuke killing Itachi. Yeah, from that point forward, like right after that, there's no more change. The next time there be any change from manga to anime would not be until the Pain arc. Now, the pain arc, basically story-wise, remained virtually intact. They didn't add anything to this. It's just that they cut some stuff from the anime, which I'm like, okay, I read the stuff later. They cut a lot of stuff with Hanada, like even the stuff leading up to the Fourth Great Ninja War. There was flashbacks to Hanada, to the pain arc, basically about her sacrificing. Yeah, that was cut out for some reason. A lot of character bits were cut out. But mostly put, the story was pretty much kept intact. Just that they cut out a lot of stuff, which I kind of felt as though, remembering from the anime, and reading the manga later, like, why was this stuff cut? There was nothing wrong with this. It's a nice bit of character. It's a nice bit of character stuff, but for some reason, the people at Parrot thought it'd be a good idea to cut this really good stuff. There's nothing really wrong with this. And after the pain arc, they had the... Oh yeah, and the whole scene of basically, you know how in the anime where Sasuke and his team go after Killer Bee? Yeah, that doesn't happen in the manga. That actually happens off panel, believe it or not. Yeah, I checked the manga. It's never shown on panel. That was something that they made up for the anime because it was referenced that Sasuke and his team went after Killer Bee, and for some reason, I'm not sure, maybe Kishimoto didn't have time to draw this awesome scene, awesome battle segment, but they put in the anime. Either he probably told them that this probably happened off screen, and they probably figured, okay, let's have an entire episode dedicated to this. Okay, so that whole scene was simply something they added to it. So basically, the changes basically were just additions, just adding stuff here and there. That was the first one. Oh yeah, and the whole scene of the guy from the second arc of the manga, when he comes back later on, yeah, that is not filler. That actually did happen in the manga. Him and his grandson coming back, because it had been a few years since they had seen them, and I thought that was filler. Turns out that actually is not filler. That actually is canon. Yep, that is canon with the manga. So yeah, just that the flashback to what happened like right after they left that town, that probably is filler. But yeah. But they did make one small change when it comes to Okage Summit. Mostly put, they made two changes. One, they cut a line of dialogue from Gar for some reason, and his reaction to basically finding out the Hidden Stone Village is actually at one point hired the Akatsuki. I'm kind of like, I read this and I'm thinking, why was this cut for? It just makes no sense. Yeah. And also they did make one change. They kept the dialogue there from the manga. Except in the manga, the whole thing of like, when the Kages basically say, I know that, and says afterwards, in the manga it was a Tazakage, in the anime it was the Razakage. My personal guess is it probably sounded a lot better coming from him than the Tazakage. That's my personal guess, but I'm glad they kept that. Now, from memory from the actual anime itself, the dialogue is simply word for word exactly the same as is in the manga, except they gave it to the Razakage for some reason. Probably because it makes more sense coming from him. The way it's spoken and the way it sounds like something the Razakage would say. So that's probably the reason why they changed it. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, and then the whole thing with the whole scene of basically Tsunade asking Razakage to have Naruto be taken to the place where Killer Bee got basically mastered the ability of talking to Kurama. Octopus. Well, I don't remember his name. He's called Ado. I don't remember his actual name. Yeah, that was something they added, because that was never brought up in the manga. Just like, oh, they're just at this island for some reason. They never mentioned exactly why. So my guess is the reason why that scene was there was just an addition. So simply put forward, some of the stuff they changed was simply just adding stuff to the manga, adding stuff that was probably going to be there. But my guess is probably cut for time because Kishimoto had to keep this coming out on a weekly basis. That's my personal guess. But the furthest I've gotten to is basically when Naruto finds out about the Fourth Great Ninja War, because from that point forward, oh yeah, and the whole filler season, yeah, that, oh yeah, and for some reason, one change they did make is though the boat is different. Yeah, the boat is different because in the manga it looks like a big freighter ship, In the anime, it's a wood ship for some reason. I have no idea why they changed it for, but yeah, they changed the ship. Yeah, and some of you like, yeah, I'm reading the manga and I'm remembering from the anime because the anime they actually show like Guy just simply volunteering to go along, which I still question why the heck did they bring him along, and the manga never bothers to explain why the heck it came along for in the first place. My personal guess is the reason why he came along is probably because Kishimoto wanted Naruto to have a familiar face, because the other two guys are characters that are basically a couple of no-name characters. They got barely in development. Even the manga, they got barely in development. And probably also because Kishimoto wanted Guy to have a rematch with Kasumi, one of the Seven Swordsmen. He probably wanted to have a rematch with him. Which, by the way, the manga, both the manga and the anime basically are so amazing. Though they did add one thing. Mostly the fight is pretty much intact. They did add one expansion to it when Guy remembers exactly the guy's name. Yeah, that was something added to the manga, because the anime, because in the manga they didn't. It's like, okay, you see him and they have a fight, awesome fight, and of course they get captured, and of course the way he dies, it's pretty much similar to how he dies, because he kind of dies off panel in the manga when he's eaten by one of his sharks. Oh, and Killer Beast's fight with Kasumi prior to this, in that big water bubble thing. Yeah, there's like no change from the manga. Hardly. I think the only change they make is basically how they explain the switch. Yeah, they actually explained the switch of how in the world Kasumi managed to survive. They actually bothered to show it in the anime. In the manga, they never actually bothered to show it. But the first I've gotten with the manga is basically when Naruto is trying to break out and he runs into Iruka. That's basically the first I've gotten to so far with the manga. So at this point, for remembering from the anime and of course while reading the manga, I would say some of the additions basically were definitely necessary, like the whole thing of explaining, like showing the battle with of Sasuke and his team battling Killer Bee, explaining why basically Naruto went to the island, and the whole fake mission thing, the one that actually was only for like a couple pages. Yeah, they actually sort of expanded on it, like what exactly his mission was in the island. Yeah, the expansion of that. Let's see what else. Basically, the stuff they added were definitely necessary, because time-consuming wise, Kishimoto probably didn't have time to do stuff like this. Now the battle with Killer Bee, that probably is a good exception to it, because he probably had time to it. Though I don't know why he didn't add that little scene, basically what they put in the anime of why Naruto went to the island in the first place, because Tsunade asked Razakage about the place. And simply put, yeah. And also some of the and I was told that the whole scene to basically Anko being that unconscious in that cave with Kabuto. Yeah, I was told that that was never shown in the manga. That was a lie. I was told this by Jeremy. I read the manga when she's seen in the cave. She's seen unconscious in that cave with Kabuto. Either one, he didn't remember it, or two, he probably lied about it. I don't know why. But yeah, I saw him in the cave. I saw her unconscious in that cave when she got captured, and of course she remained unconscious up a whole war. Yeah, but simply put, yeah, I also got one of the light novels recently. I got the Sakura one. Let me show you all it. Here it is. Here's a Sakura light novel. I'm going to read this after I finish reading the manga, which right now is only got 166 chapters left. So, basically the whole point of this special, just give an update exactly how far I got to the manga, and what changes that the anime did made for the manga. So, mostly put the stuff they cut were just not really necessary to cut. Like, cutting a line of dialogue from Gar was not very necessary. It would have been interesting. People who probably didn't read the manga basically would love to see that reaction. Now, one thing, they could have cut that for time from the anime. Either that, or they probably didn't want to use that scene. I don't know. And also cutting the other bits, like cutting the flashbacks to Hinata, showing Hinata in like flashbacks in Naruto's head, basically remembering what happened during the pain stuff. I don't know why that was cut. Yeah, that's something also that had no reason to cut at all. In the case of the stuff basically of showing more what happened to Hinata after she got hit by Yanato, basically the first pillar of pain. Yeah, basically where her team and I think it's her team and Team 10 went to go to her and get that pipe out of her, and of course Sakura take her sweet time getting to her and helping her heal her wounds. Because in the anime, it's just okay, she's hit and then she's not seen again until she's seen. Oh, she's got the pipe removed and she gets healed. It's like that. I don't know why that was cut, because the stuff I read basically while reading the pain arc in the manga was very interesting. Seeing basically all these people were concerned about Hinata and how brave she was, and the fact Sakura finding out obviously that Hinata's in love with Naruto. Fine, but she's probably happy with her for that. But some of the other stuff that was cut, I kind of personally felt as though that the anime should not have cut. Either that, or they could have just made this into a standalone. The stuff they cut, they couldn't have made to like a standalone episode because it just like quick succession. Like okay, we have. It's like either one, they probably didn't want to keep cutting back the Hinata because they wanted to keep focusing on the pain, because Naruto's battle with pain. Yeah, that's my personal guess. But the stuff they cut from that could have filled out an easily a 20 to 23 minute episode. Yeah, I mean, the stuff they cut was actually really good. Good character stuff. But I don't know why they cut it for it. It's like the stuff that was cut from the manga, the stuff that wasn't the manga but it wasn't the anime. The stuff they cut, not changed. I personally felt as though that was not necessary. If now I watched a sub version of that scene of the Kage Summit. I watched a sub version. I've never seen the dub version because Hulu basically didn't have dub episodes beyond episode 90. They had the first 97 episodes that were dubbed by Disney XD, but for some reason they decided not to have any other episodes dubbed. I have no idea why. It's just that's just the way it was when I was watching the Hulu stuff, basically. And thanks to watching it subbed, I was able to pretty much watch the whole series from episode 98 onwards. So I had to watch over 400 episodes subbed. Yeah. But yeah. The manga itself at this point is getting really interesting, and they're starting the whole war stuff basically when they show like the first day of battle. From what I can tell, they don't really change anything here. There's no additions. Simply put, it's exactly the same as it is in the anime. The whole battles on the beach thing, which kind of reminded me of D-Day in a way. Basically, when you see those it's like the White Zagasu clones. When they're coming out of the water and they're marching on the beach, and you have all these ninjas basically defending the beach. It's similar to that. Plus, I've heard about this zombie movie basically involving zombie crusaders, where they come out of the water and they basically attack people on the beaches. Yeah, it's similar to that. So maybe Kishimoto, basically inspiration from D-Day, that or probably something else for that particular scene, but. Yeah, and of course, seeing the Seven Swordsmen in the Mist. Yeah, even in the manga, seeing all those past Seven Swordsmen was a jaw-dropping moment. And at least they bothered to explain. I don't remember if they did this in the anime or not, but at least in the manga, they actually bothered to explain how they got their weapons. Basically, they used a scroll to a teleportation scroll to teleport all their weapons. Well, with the exception of the guy who basically Kishimoto's. Kasumi's weapon, that big Salamandra sword, the one that eats chakra. Yeah, that was the one that they couldn't take because, well, yeah. I don't remember if they actually used the scroll in the anime, but in the manga they did. At least they bothered to explain how they got the weapons. Got the weapons back, but yeah, mostly put, it's the same. when it comes to the first day of the Ninja War. So basically no change there. Okay, so that's it for this Naruto Anime review special. I'm probably gonna do more of these. Basically, of my personal thoughts on the manga, like remembering basically from the anime, like the changes they make. But simply put, I'm getting very close to finishing the manga, and I'll be able to finish the manga soon. I probably be able to finish it with before by this time next month. I probably finish the manga by then. But excuse me, I have currently finished up 3 mangas. I finished up Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh, and I finished up Yu Hakusho. I'm gonna start watching the Yu Hakusho anime really soon. My guess is sometime this week I'm gonna be watching it. But yeah, so that's it for this anime special. Stay tuned for more. There's probably more coming. Probably next one I'll probably do next week. When I get a chance to read more of the manga. Okay, but until then, I'm gonna see you there. Bye.